Japanese wirklich langsam greifbar.
Ich glaube auch. Und der Zauberer hat gesagt, der Zauberstab findet noch Haus.
Okay, well, good morning and welcome back. Today is the 26th of December. It's Boxing Day. As you can see, I've had some of my hair removed. Most of it's fallen out of its own accord, but some of it has now been trimmed to make me look a little more respectable for Christmas at the in-laws. But as you can see, I'm now in the car and I'm on my way to go and pick up my latest midlife crisis toy. So I'm on a motorway in the west of Germany near Cologne, Düsseldorf. It's pretty empty, we're doing okay, but it is limited here. That's why I'm on the phone and not driving 220 kilometers an hour with my hair on fire. And in about 10 minutes I shall arrive at my destination. I shall negotiate the price, hopefully. And even if I don't negotiate the price, I shall then pay the full price and load up most of the boot of the car, which will be interesting because Father Christmas was extremely generous to my children again, and so there is a lot of other stuff to put in the boot of the car. But you'll see all of that as I pack the car up tomorrow. We're heading back down to Austria tomorrow, so I'm going to check back in as soon as I'm done with the negotiations and I've loaded up my boot. Okay, well, there's some things still in the car as well, so it's not just the boot full. What I'm going to have to do now is unload everything so I can load it up better than I did. I just kind of chucked it in. But it's all there and I'll show you that as soon as I've unloaded it. Okay, well, I'm back at the in-laws and I'm going to sort out everything I've just bought. I've just taken it back out of the car because there's quite a lot of it really. So let's start at the beginning over here. Those are some empty beer bottles. This is a bottle of CO2 of carbon dioxide to make it fizzy. And then, well, there's all of this, which is a huge amount of stuff. So I'm going to turn the camera around and I shall explain to you more or less what the different bits are. So most of you should know what that is. That's a tap. This and these two are electric brewing kettles. So we have different filters inside there and your grain goes in there. And then the whole thing drops in. You fill it up with water. It has a pump, so it pumps the water around. You set temperatures and times because it has to go through different time cycles. This one here is a little bit more basic, but basically the same theory. You set the temperature, but you need a thermometer for that one. Then from there, it'll go either into this, these, the buckets, or those at the back, which are funnily named Firmzillas. That's a Fermentosaurus. So those are basically to ferment the beer. So that's where the alcohol is made and it starts turning into beer from just being malt juice. And these ones here, you can put CO2 in the top, which speeds it up and makes clearer beer apparently. And these ones are the traditional ones. And there's a stainless steel one. Down here we have some coils. One of them is for well, they're for two different types of brewing, but they're basically to run cold water through to cool the whole thing down quickly. before you put the yeast in, because the yeast doesn't like it too hot. This is then the beer filter to make it crystal clear, and that one there is the water filter to reduce water hardness. We've got a stirring paddle, we've got a machine to put the caps on the beer, there's some various pipes and bits and bobs. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of stuff, and it's not the smallest boot, but it all needs to go in there. So I'm going to now play what fits in what, because I think I'll be able to get some things into other things, and that will help stack them up. So there we go. The plan then is to make local beer in the village in Italy, because although the Italians do have some nice beers, I'm a bit of a one-trick pony when it comes to my prejudices. So, you know, the Italians make nice cars, the Germans make good cars. The Italians make great wine, the Germans make great beer. And I think once we get all of this together, with a bit of luck, we might make some great beer in Italy too. Okay, well, good morning and welcome back. As you can see, we're finally here, and today is the 31st of December, the last day of the year, and what a year it has been, full of surprises. Some good, some not so good, but well, if we're all still here now, then let's make the most of it. So we're here for a few days. The weather is fabulous at the moment, as you can see. Look at that. I did post that on Instagram earlier on, just as dawn came up. It's not particularly cold. First things first, I'm going to go and try and get the golf out of the wild boar field. Then today we've got some stuff to do. We'll be seeing some friends later on, so a bit of cleaning up, and I do have a long list of projects actually for this week, and we'll see how far I get. But first things first, let's head up to the car. Well, there we go, a bit of mud on the tyres, but basically another homage to German engineering. It just starts and goes. So now it's time to go and do some shopping, and then take everything back up to the house, and we'll probably kick off the preparations for this evening. But other than a good clean, which it'll probably get now, that side dug in a bit, everything seems to be okay. Okay, it's the 1st of January. Spent most of the day in bed. It's now early afternoon, mid-afternoon. It's very, very foggy. Just taking the kids out for a bit of a play out by the tennis courts, and then probably head back, have more food, and then go to bed. And tomorrow will be a big day. So I had a lovely evening. I hope you all had a great New Year's Eve, and I wish you all the very best for 2022. Okay, well, good morning and welcome back. It is now well and truly January 2022, and there is a bit of drizzle, not enough rain to really work out how successful the roof repairs were, but maybe tomorrow. The kids are playing, as you can hear in the background, and the plan for now is I'm on the little loggia terrace, which is still got a lot of stuff on it from the bedroom, so I'm going to tidy it up, and then I'm going to take out the ceiling here, because that's pointless. And this will probably cause much ire amongst you, but I'm going to remove the staircase because it takes up much too much space, and it means that I can't put a shutter there, and I can't put outside shutters on this window because these shutters are terrible, and I want nice wooden shutters everywhere like this. And I'm going to fit like a sort of ladder that's fixed to the wall up there, which I think will look quite nice. And then I'm going to fix that, now that we're assuming that it's dry, so I can fix that bit of wall there and replaster that. I've got some plaster and some mesh. I've got some little lights here that I want to fit out here so that it's lit up. You can take down the Christmas lights now, I think. Yeah, so that's basically the plan. That should take a couple of days to get everything out, and then we'll see what it looks like when everything's clear. Okay, well, I've cleared most of up here now, so it's going to be a question of taking the wood out. I think probably best from above, just with my crowbar. These are cemented in, but there's a metal bar to hold presumably that wall and reinforce it. These are not, they're just laid in. I presume things were hung from them to dry. I think that was basically the use of up here. You can see there where the neighbour's house was re-bricked. But the plan is basically just to open up the arches. It'll look much nicer from outside, from inside, and then we can light them. I think that'll look excellent. So there's plenty to do, but I'm going to go and get a crowbar. I'm going to start taking this wooden floor out, and I think the last thing we'll do is then probably take out the staircase. And I will keep the staircase. I'll put it downstairs somewhere. I want to build something quite similar, but you'll see that when we get that far. Okay, well, as you can see, I've made an incredibly professional start to this. Some of the bits of wood are completely rotten, and some of them are like cement, but they seem to go through. You can see there's some problems that have happened there at some point. It's pretty wavy, but well, it'll all come down eventually. But it does seem to be dropping a lot of dust on my head, and well, it'll be fine. We're just my very bent, very trusty crowbar will do the job. Okay, so interestingly, there's a lot of woodworm in there. I know this is pretty much the only softwood here, but that's been attacked right up in the corner. You can see it quite well here as well. That's a bit of plywood. So actually probably quite lucky that I took that out. This beam, if I leave it in, which I probably will, as the end marker, of where it's plastered to. I can just treat, I have some treatment here, but at least it hasn't gone up into the roof. So I'm going to climb across. I'm going to actually tidy up most of this now because there's too many sticky out nails and I don't want one in my foot. So I'm going to go and get the trailer in a minute. But first let's just have a look and see what it looks like from on the stairs. So it gives quite a lot more, you know, volume to that space. And the staircase, although, you know, it's really pretty and it's nice to have that little room up there, it's taking almost a quarter of the surface of that that little terrace away for, you know, a room that will probably never be used. And if it is, then, you know, maybe it's a study or something. And I think putting a wooden ladder on the wall, actually fixed to the wall with a nice painted handrail, I think that'll look quite nice. But yeah, no, this is pretty much as I was imagining it. So going to get some wood down and then get those. There are the hunters, getting rid of some of the wild boar, hopefully. Get rid of all the rest of that, and then see how it looks. It's going to definitely make a big difference on the arches once we get there, and there's only another 6 or 7 slats now. So I'm going to get the wood down and then keep going. Okay, so as you can see, lots of wood there. One just slid down the stairs, but 2 of the 3, and I don't know what you think, but I think it looks a million times better. The little metal bars don't bother me. I'm going to take the washing line down because that doesn't need to be there anymore. But it's just a question of those wooden beams that I think paint them white and they'll be fine. And the beams above will leave. And I'll decide on, I think I might put actually a wooden kind of stop along the wall to that door. I haven't quite decided what to do there yet, but looks great. So I'm going to keep going, get rid of this last bit here. Yeah, and then probably the staircase. And there we go. So I'm quite happy with that. The staircase, it looks quite cool, but it's not stable. As you can see, it's just floating now. I mean, it wasn't really hung on much to start with, but I'll do some investigative work and see how easy it'll be to get the staircase out in one piece. I think we'll have to start from the top and work down. It's just going to be interesting working on the staircase. This is going to be something for a blooper video. I hope not, but we'll see. Other than that, it looks fabulous. I really like that. It makes a world of difference. Okay, so here we are under the staircase. I've taken off the lower panelling, so those are the floorboards from upstairs. And in fact, it looks like, that's one, don't you see? It looks like everything is hung on this one piece of wood here and this one bolt here, which isn't that reassuring for the number of times I've popped up and down it, not being the lightest person. So I'm going to keep stripping off bit by bit. I want to keep the staircase, keep as much as possible for just in case I change my mind in 10, 20, 30 years time. But for now, just keep taking it to bits. Well, now that the bits of tongue and groove are off, you can see there wasn't really very much to it. Not super reassuring, but hey. Old bits of wood, in fact very similar to what I used for the sink in the bedroom before. So I think next it's going to be taking the top of the handrail off and the bottom there and getting the staircase out. There we go. So that one was in the wall quite a way, and that bolt, basically it's now clear. So the next thing to do is to tidy everything away. This bed will eventually, hopefully, make it over to the village, which you can just about see on the other side of the valley in the fog. If English immigration ever let people back into Italy, or rather Italian immigration ever let people from England back in. But in the meanwhile, I'm really happy with this. It's hard to tell, I guess, on the video, but it's brought a huge amount more light. It means I can get rid of these horrible shutters. So I'm going to get rid of everything off here next time, and get rid of all the nails. I certainly weren't messing about with those, plenty of nails. Tidy everything up, then knock off all of the dead plaster. So there's some here, some there, but most of it is here where the infiltration was. I've got some mesh, and then I'm going to replaster the column, this wall, there, and then I should probably paint. So, oh no, I've got some lights, as I said, so I've got some drilling and some wiring to do as well. And then I should probably paint. Some fixing up here. I guess we'll have to find some of these tiles, but the idea is to make this terrace livable for spring, so that when I then attack the kitchen, there's still somewhere to, you know, kind of be outside and have some food and have a drink, because that's going to be a big project over there. Okay, well, that's going to be it for this video. Filthy, sweaty, but it looks good. We'll have to paint that door blue as well, I guess, so that everything fits in. Paint this door and shutters and everything. There's lots to paint. But basically, yeah, no, it looks great. Really very, very happy as always, and happy to be here. So, as I've mentioned probably many times throughout this video that was filmed over various days and weeks, I hope you all had a great Christmas. I hope you all had a great New Year, and I hope that this year brings everything that you could wish for, but most importantly, good health. Yeah, so that's about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. We're here for another couple of days, so you'll be able to watch this in progress. But yeah, take care, and bye bye for now.